Welcome back. This is John Locke, and today I'm doing something a little bit different now. Normally I talk about SEO, but today I'm going to talk about logos. That's part of web design. That's part of branding. That's part of making your brand look amazing. Okay, let's start with one that comes up a lot on people's lists of favorite logos, best logos. That's a FedEx logo. One thing that I noticed right away is this purple and this orange are very complementary to each other on the color scale. A lot of people will point out the negative space arrow. As you can see right here, there's an arrow hidden in the E and the X. I always think negative space hidden things are really good, but this color combination is really good as well. Let's see if I can even pick this color. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people talk about the negative space arrow. One thing I want to look at too is the actual color, the purple and the orange. There, as you can see, they're kind of complementary to each other on the color spectrum. They're not polar opposites, but they are, pretty close. They are complementary colors of the same um shade, and they work pretty well together. Uh, and these are two colors that are they're a little bit difficult to make work together, but in this logo, it seems to work. That's a famous logo that people seem to like. Let's take a look at some other logos that I think are well done. So this one is Sutter Health. This is the local hospital here in Sacramento. One thing that I think is really good about this is you really have one color, this kind of teal color, and then you have a gray. So it's really just gray and then this color and then white, and that's it. But one thing that I think is really clever about this is there's also negative space imagery here. Now you can see that they've taken the plus, the normal medical sign, that cross, and they've added kind of this 3D effect, this dynamic ribbon that looks 3D on top of the flat logo. And what it does is it kind of makes your eye look at this curve, and it's creating almost this negative space S that should be here, which I think is very clever. I think this is a well-designed logo. I'm not sure who did this. It's really good. Um, let's take a look at another one. This is one that I never saw that what's actually hidden in here for a long time, but once I saw it, I thought this was a very clever logo. This is for Goodwill Industries. Now they have this custom font for the actual the word mark here, but there's a reason why they did this. So the G, you can see that this is the G in Goodwill, but it also makes this face. There's a lowercase g, but it's a smiling face, like half of a smiling face. And the way that they do it in the actual logo, it looks like half the face is being cut off. So a logo that represents two things at once, the smiling face and the letter G. I think that's a really clever logo. I think that's a well-designed logo. Instantly recognizable. Let's take a look at another logo. This one is for a company that's based here in the Sacramento area. This is Taylor Wing. They make truck boxes. So the utility boxes that go in the back of your truck. And again, you'll see they're made in the USA. You got the red and the blue. So colors that are identified with the USA flag, red, white, and blue. You got the wings here, but what you have is you have a negative space T. That T for Taylor Wing is right there. So negative space created by the wings, red, white, and blue, made in the USA. I think that's really clever. I like that logo a lot. This one, Chase Bank. Now, I believe that uh, who made this logo? Hmm. Okay, so what's interesting about the Chase logo? So according to this, I guess, uh, they made a stylized octagon, uh, and it's a stylized representation of the primitive water pipes laid by the Manhattan Company, which were made by nailing together wooden planks. I did not know this. So, okay, so they used to be known as the Chase Manhattan Bank, or the Bank of the Manhattan Company, originally. Then they were Chase Manhattan. Um, Now they're just known as Chase. So that is intriguing. And I did not realize that the old logo had these different colors. Yeah, that seems like a real like late 60s, 1970s aesthetic. I'm not sure that I like that so much. Uh, I don't know how many of you were around in the 1970s. In 1976, I remember as a little kid, the bicentennial of the U.S. was a big deal. Um, Even the coins, the quarters, there are special bicentennial quarters. So some of the logos that were around in 1976 were very patriotic and USA themed because the bicentennial year, that year was like a big deal. Um, but I do like this, or not, but I do like this logo. So I guess this is stylized octagon with water pipes or whatever. But what I like about this logo is it's one color, the blue that you see a lot in financial institutions or credit card companies or corporate logos. You'll often see blue. Blue is like a safe color. This blue seems to evoke feelings of calm, um, safety, power. But what I really like about this logo, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I always look at this logo and I see a stylized C. Like right here, I always see a C for Chase. But apparently, this is just about the primitive pipes that the Manhattan Company, which is the original bank in the 1800s when um, New York City was being, or the late 1700s, early 1800s. Its roots trace back to this. So this is the pipes, the stylized logo. I just always see the C, like right there. But I think this is a logo. It doesn't have to have hidden meaning, uh, but apparently it does. But I just like the way that it looks. Okay, this is a logo for the Food Writers Guild of America, and again, this has a really simple idea. You're combining two things. So this is for those who are familiar with old time writing implements. This is the nib of a ink pen, like an old style ink pen that you would dip into ink. And this part would be the part that you dip in the inkwell and write. But hidden in here is a spoon. So really simple, only two shapes, just the nib and the spoon put together. I think that's a very clever idea. So Food Writers Guild of America. This one is another one. It's Spartan golf clubs. And what you see two ideas. You see the golfer swinging the club, and this is making a motion. This is, they had to get a little creative here, but it's basically the motion of the club, but it makes this Spartan face. So the negative space in between the golfer's swing and the crook of his arm makes the nose and all that. This is a little stylized right here. Like here and here, they took a little liberty. But basically, they took the silhouette of a golfer and added this motion lines here to make a Spartan helmet. So I think that's a clever logo. The Amazon logo, a lot of people talk about this one. There's a couple of reasons why I think this is a good logo. A lot of people talk about seeing faces in things. The way that the human mind works is we try to see faces. We try to see a human face in all kinds of different things. That's just the way that the human brain is set up. Now, if you look at the Amazon logo, there's two different things that they're saying here. They're saying that they cover the A to the Z. A to the Z. That's what they have. But if you step back and unfocus your eyes a little bit, you'll also see that there's a face here. A smiling face. This is the mouth smiling. Maybe this is the crook of the smile here. But here's one eye. Here's another eye. Maybe, this is the nose here, but an eye, a mouth, a nose. And they're delivering A to Z. It just works on that level. If you, like I say, if you just unfocus your eyes a little bit, it pops out. Use of negative space to make things appear. Here's another one that I like where it's two different things represented. Baskin Robbins, of course, they're the ice cream shop. I used to go there a lot when I was a kid. I think when I was a kid, it was a lot better. I got to be honest, I don't like the idea of what they're doing now where they have the ice cream shop and the Togo's sandwiches in one place. It just really makes it difficult to eat ice cream when I'm smelling like hot pastrami. Hate to say it, but I think that that's a bad idea. I think you should keep your ice cream shops and your sandwich shops separate. That's just me. But I do like this logo where you have the B and then you have the R, but you also have 31, the 31 flavors that they used to carry. I don't think they carry 31 flavors behind the counter anymore, but at least not in the one near by me. Maybe in one that you have in your town. But I think this 31, keeping the original colors that they had back in the day, is a good idea. The B and the R. The logo is kind of playful. The font is custom. It's kind of a playful font. It's not a serious font like some of these other ones that we've seen where you can see the typography here. It's very stylized, like the spacing on this one for sure too. The spacing between the letters kind of gives it a more upscale feel. Like on the Chase, this is also a stylized font. This is a custom font, but it feels more corporate and sanitary. This one is more playful, like a kid created this font. But it has, consistency. And again, the pink and the blue are opposite, or they're complementary colors on the color wheel. The pink and the blue are about 2/3. They're not like polar opposites, but they're adjacent to one another on the color wheel. So this works well together. There's just two colors. Okay, now this is a band from the 90s, if you remember Limp Bizkit. I'm not a big fan of their music. I mean, I guess they have some okay jams. I never thought that they were even like one of the better new metal bands. There was lots of new metal bands in the 90s that were better than Limp Bizkit, in my opinion. But one thing that I like about their logo is the typography. It has this lowercase. It's almost like based on the Impact font, basically. It's stylized from that. It's custom, but it is inspired by the Impact typeface. One thing that's interesting that I like about this is they're playing off of the, if you've ever seen some of the other logos for the NBA, Major League Baseball, NFL, PGA, they all have like this blue field and then like a silhouette of a player and then red. So this is a play on that, like with the sports teams. This silhouette comes, I think it's from their second or third album. This was there was a full color illustration, and that's where this silhouette comes from. It's from one of their earlier albums before they got really, really big. But yeah, interesting logo. I could do a whole show just on band logos, analyzing that, but this is kind of a way to make them stand out. And I think, a crossover with the people who are into sports, maybe also into music, kind of younger demographic. I think that's a good idea. Okay, last logo that I want to show you. This is from a YouTube channel that I sometimes watch. I don't watch it every single day, but sometimes I watch it. And this is WhatCulturecom. This is one of those sites. They deal with kind of nerd culture. They started getting their fame from doing wrestling coverage, like pro wrestling culture. But they also cover, comics, TV, but still the vast majority of where their fame comes from is covering pro wrestling news. Now, this, if you cannot tell, this logo here. So this what culture scrawly thing here. This is a play on the WWE logo from several years ago before they got this new corporate logo here. But this older logo from right around like 2001, I want to say, is when they adopted this one. It was right around 2001, and they had this for a little while, and then they moved to this one. But that's where this comes from. This logo, if you can't tell, this is basically a folding chair, like wrestlers hit themselves with a chair in the back. This is their new logo. It's got different colors. It's not just gray, but it's got the red in there, in different shades of that. I think that's to signify that they're not just discussing wrestling news, but also they're talking about comics and TV and gaming and different things like that. So I like this logo because if you know what it means, you know what it means. But from outside the sphere of that, it just looks like a shape. But if you know what it means, you know what it means. So that's why I like this one. So if there's different logos that you think are awesome, that inspire you, that have meaning in them, I would love to hear from you. These are just some of the ones that stand out to me that I think are, they're good, and for whatever reason, I just always think that they're clever or there's something in them that speaks to me. A logo is a representation of your brand, and when people see it, they should be able to instantly think of your brand. So, a logo is a graphic mark, emblem, or symbol used to aid and promote public identification and recognition. These are just some of the ones that I like and that I think are clever. I'd love to hear your favorite logos. Leave that in the comments below. My name's John Locke. My business is Lockdown Design and SEO. I'm here every single day making videos on SEO. I would love to hear your thoughts. And again, if you have a favorite logo, leave it in comments below. That's all I have for now. I'll be here again tomorrow. And until tomorrow, peace out.